Not bad.
Now that we got another one of Graham's neuroses out of the way, let's talk about stripping terrorists of national identity, their citizenship. Jack Letts, 24-year-old, he left his home in Oxfordshire to join ISIS 5 years ago, but he spent the last 2.5 years in a Kurdish-run prison in northern Syria. In an interview with ITV, there you go, get it up. In an interview with ITV News this week, Letts, who is known in the tabloid press as Jihadi Jack, said he'd been expecting the British government's decision after former Home Secretary Sajid Javid did the same to Shamima Begum earlier this year. He told ITV, "It's just a piece of paper at the end of the day." It's not. Stripping me of my British citizenship, I couldn't get them out, let me put my teeth in. British citizenship and not stripping me is the same thing because they're not going to help me anyway. They haven't helped me at all. It's almost as if I'm not a British citizen anyway. Jack, you're not. you gave that up the minute you went to fight with ISIS. Now, he has said in his defence, he's never killed anyone. I've never taken a slave. I'm guessing, but my mates did.
Yeah.
He's got Canadian nationality through his father, so the Canadians are naturally totally unimpressed with this because Britain, in the best traditions of Great Britain, are gone, no problem.
Yeah.
Just get rid. Which, do you know what? There's a part of me that thinks, no, they should be stripped to the citizenship. They should be made stateless and left on an island somewhere. But, international law says you're not allowed to do that. But just dumping him on Canada, why don't we just take responsibility for him? He did come from here. Get him back, bang him up, leave him there for the rest of his natural.
There's a weird thing here, though, because it's getting reported like Canada's not happy about it being put on them. But I remember about 3-4 months ago, I clearly remember that the Canadian government were going to get him out and they were going to take responsibility for him, even though he's
but now that they have to, they don't like it.
Yeah, but there was a weird thing because apparently there was some communication between us and Canada, and at that point Canada went cold. Like they spent weeks and weeks getting him out. I think it was the BBC documenting it or Channel 4. They were documenting it with him, and they put out a little mini thing of it. And there was a weird moment where Canada were doing everything they could. They were going to get him out, and then apparently there was this communication, and they just went woof, and now like 3 months later the UK has also gone. So I'm not sure if the UK is sort of playing international politics to sort of try and send a message, really, which I kind of get. Please don't join terrorist organizations fighting to destroy our countries. It's not a hard leap, really, is it? It's an interesting one, though.
I think there is an answer to the people that have gone to fight for ISIS and the citizenship, and instead of all this bollocks, of course, we could simplify the entire process into the mincer. In you go. Go on. In you go. Just in you go. That's it. You've had your fun. You've had your jollies out in the desert with your friends, watching them take slaves and cut people's heads off for being the wrong kind of Muslim or, a Western spy. So in you go. In you go. And done with. And I think that's the answer. Again, some people say it's harsh, but I think anyone that has gone to join ISIS is worthless to any society because they are dangerous. They have no value to society. They're not going to be rehabilitated. Don't give me all that bleeding heart bullshit. They went and joined fucking ISIS.
Yeah, like literal slave traders. Literal, like not. Some of the stories there where they just tie them to a tree and let them die, and it's stuff. Kids as well, man. It's
they've crucified children. They've done the worst things. I heard from that guy that fought them in Syria. I'd love to get him on the show, actually, but I think he's still trying to negotiate a book deal or something like that. It's this guy I was put in touch with, and I spoke to him a few times. He, business in the UK wasn't working out. It was before it all kicked off, so he had family in Syria. He's not Syrian, but he had family there, so he went there, started a business, did well. It all kicked off, and then ISIS tried to kill him and his family. So he had some military training when he was younger, so he became commander of a unit, basically fighting on the side of Assad, although he didn't have any massive loyalties there. His point was fighting against these people who were trying to kill him. And in like 4 or 5 years, he only lost 1 or 2 men from his unit, I believe. He ran his unit really well. He killed a lot of bad people and saw a lot of terrible fucking things. But I remember him telling me, I found it interesting, he said, you know, when you came up against Al-Qaeda, you had a fight. You had a problem. They were soldiers. And I've heard that from British soldiers as well. You know, they were soldiers.
Real ones then.
Yeah, Al-Qaeda. ISIS, no. He said we didn't mind fighting ISIS because they had no discipline, they had no training, they were just psychopaths. So you could just slaughter them. Just slaughter them. But I'm starting to think that's probably, you know, I oppose the death penalty in general. I'm vehemently against it, but I do believe it's time to bring in the mincer. For people that just, what can you do with them? What can you do apart from mince them up for fucking dog meat?
I'm not sure.
What else is there?
Yeah, I mean, if you were going to keep slaves, I'm not sure what kind of appropriate punishment there is for that. I mean, maybe not a mincer, but
I think the mincer.
there's certainly an argument for the death penalty, isn't there? And there's certainly an argument for losing the citizenship. Obviously, it gets a bit more complicated when kids are involved, but I don't see any reason why we can't bring kids back. Honestly, I don't. But I also see the argument of saying, well, that their parents have made that decision, as sad as it is.
Well, the other part I see, there's a problem for me, is like, let's say that's Shamima Begum. Well, her child should be allowed back to be brought up by her family, but look at the fucking shit job they did with her.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm sure they're lovely people and all that, but the kid went to join fucking ISIS. I don't know about this online grooming, but there have got to be fucking signs. There have got to be signs. I know if my kid's mixing with the wrong kids out there, and there's little things you notice in the behaviour and stuff, and then you can correct it. So I like to think, and maybe I'm not dad of the fucking year, but I like to think I'd notice if my kid was falling in with fucking ISIS. If you are that negligent, you don't notice your child becoming a bit ISIS-like, wanting to travel to Syria, you're probably not... You've not done very well by your kids. In most cases. I would put that forward as a legitimate criticism. So no, they shouldn't be bringing more kids up. We should be saying they should probably stop with the kids thing until they've got a handle on, you know, not letting the kids get up to too much bad things, not letting them get into drugs, in the drink, or ISIS. You know? I mean, it's one thing, innit? You know, your kid... Oh, you catch a kid smoking weed. All right, I failed there. You catch a kid getting pissed at 15. Oh, I've let him down there. Going abroad to take slaves and cut people's heads off? Oh, that's a bit worse. That's a bit worse. On my scale, obviously. I'm sure other people will have different scales of tolerance. Well, do it. I mean, look how tolerance works now. Was it Hamas banned LGBT? Some kind of parade, or they banned it. Basically, fuck you. You're off a building if you do this shit.
Yeah. They've publicly come out. There was some sort of event supposed to happen, and it's been stopped. So somebody, you know, Ben Shapiro or someone like that said, "Well, I'm waiting for Ilhan Omar and all that
where's the outrage?"
I'm waiting for the outrage. And hilariously, her reply on Twitter was just said, "Oh well, this doesn't excuse Israel's actions," and it's like, no, we're not talking about that.
You're right, it doesn't.
It doesn't. But can you actually address this? Like, you know, like they will openly kill gay people.
But this is the shit way people argue now, Israel, isn't it? That's the way shit. It's the shit way people argue, and her supporters will go with it. Same as Ben Shapiro's would if he put forth a stupid fucking argument like that.
Do you know what I saw with Ben Shapiro that made me really happy? He's sponsored by gold, so he sells gold, and I just love that. The amount of Jew abuse he gets, and like, anti-Semitism and that, and I love the fact that he literally shills gold on his show. I think that's a nice little fuck you to everyone that hates him. He's like, here's me, Ben Shapiro.
All he needs to do now is get into money lending, isn't it? And it'd be fucking perfect.
I know. I just think it's great, though. And he's like, you know, and why not fucking get paid, look after your family? I don't give a shit.
Oh well, more power to him. He's never done it. He's never done